Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Basement Banter Podcast. I'm your host, Drew. To my left of me is my co-host, Brady.
And a Charmander. A really big Charmander.
Fucking Charmander decided to join us today. How much do you think that thing weighs?
25 pounds? Are you stupid? What? It's
30 pounds?
It's like fucking 9.
Yeah, it's definitely...
I don't know.
25 pounds.
It's a solid 4 feet tall. 3.5 feet tall, maybe, though.
Well, behind the camera, stupidly not understanding how weight works in stuffed animals is Nick.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
With the X's and
back.
O's.
Behind the X's and O's.
Behind the X's and O's.
I'm back again.
All right. We'll start off this podcast with just a slight tribute. The guy's pissed me off recently, but Jon Jones officially announced his retirement from the UFC, at least for now, or fighting in general for now. He said he might get that itch again, but, he is aging, hasn't fought in a while.
I wouldn't let him come back.
Dana White thinks he's a go. A lot of people have him as the greatest of all time. I have him top 3, easy.
GSW.
I give it to George St. Pierre personally. I believe he was the greatest of all time, but whoever you think it is, I mean, Jon Jones is undoubtedly the best lightweight champion that ever exists. You can make the case he's the best heavyweight champion that ever exists. And possibly the greatest fighter of all time.
He still could have done the fight, win or lose, and handed off the title. Like that, you still do.
Tom Aspinall got fucked.
Out of respect for the sport and out of respect for Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones just pretty much said, "Fuck it." Hey,
Yeah, I mean, I feel terrible for Tom Aspinall because what they should have done instead of announcing it on Saturday, they announced it right after the card ended.
Kind of seemed like he was backed into answering it too.
Yeah, and they
should
should have waited, or they could have done it on that card, but they should have waited for UFC 317 this weekend, and brought him out after the main event maybe, or right as the main card starts sometime around then, and announce him as heavyweight. I mean, the guy spent his whole life trying to become heavyweight. I mean, he practically already was. I mean, he was in quote unquote interim champ. We all knew he was a real champ, but you bring him out. And just be like, this is our new champion. You waited your whole life for this moment. You got a phone call at midnight.
No, see, that's what kind of sucks.
He might have found. Did he know that he was already, or did he find out from that?
No, he found out from a phone call. Because he definitely found out from a phone. He had to have found out from a phone call before that. If he found out on just like a press conference, that's disrespectful to Tom Aspinall. That's really so fucked. Like just for like the integrity of the sport too. Like, you work your whole life for this, you want to be the heavyweight champion. Probably was going to get it. I mean, I don't know.
I think he would have won. Because Jon Jones just wasn't training anymore.
No, he was out of it.
He didn't have any fire left in him, and he's aging.
You could tell he was out of it, though.
Tom had every single one of Tom's fights, and, I mean, he hasn't fought, he's been waiting over a year at this point. I think it's at least a year. He's been waiting for a shot. He's won every fight within like the first 90 seconds. He wins first round. He just absolutely just ran through the division. I mean, the heavyweight division sucks.
It's kind of a joke.
It sucks right now. I mean, they're probably gonna give him Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane, no offense, he can't keep up with a guy like Tom
What about Blades?
Yeah, Curtis Blades didn't deserve to win that fucking fight, and he also stinks. So we'll have to. Curtis Blades should not get it. We'll see. I mean, if he fights another fight, he needs one more fight before he gets opportunity. So we'll have to see how he does again. But
he didn't even look good in the win.
No, I thought he lost. Personally, I thought it was 29-28 the other way. Judges saw it differently. It wasn't a robbery. It was a close fight, but
didn't we bet against Conor Blades?
I did bet against Curtis Blades on this fight.
Curtis, not Conor. Conor.
I did think he lost by a round, but I mean it wasn't a robbery because it was a close fight. I've never counted cage control times the same way some of these judges do. Depends on the judge.
Seems like such a niche thing to base a fight off of, but
yeah. So anyways, Jon Jones finishes with a record of 21-1, I believe, with one known contest. One of the best records of all time. Great resume besides the end. I mean, the ending, last couple fights kind of stunk. But before that, guys like Daniel Cormier, even before that, plenty of top former champions or top contenders, a really good resume. Definitely fought Stipe 6 years too late, maybe. But so props to him and congratulations on retirement. Wasn't happy with the way he handled everything, but it's over now. Could have been over like 8 months, like 6 months ago. But
That's the biggest thing is they should
it could have been over in November.
This should have
After
happened.
he said no, he kept
Because now there's no planning.
He kept asking for more and more money, and the UFC finally got it for him.
I don't think he wanted it.
He asked for so much money that I think he was just trying to get out of it.
And then he couldn't.
And then they actually
gave
got
him the money for it.
And then
he said
stopped.
yeah, and then I think there's no medical excuse or anything. He doesn't have any way to get out of it now, so he just has to drop it.
He isn't trained in like a year either.
No.
So congratulations on retirement and congratulations for Aspinall becoming champ.
I guess congratulations.
So we'll see.
Pretty sorry retirement.
I love Dana White, but this is an all-time blunder so far. But
yeah, and the worst part is you're probably not going to see Tom Aspinall defend his heavyweight until one of the upcoming pay-per-views, which is like October.
Well, yeah, they got to pick an opponent, and then
well, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
You got to give the guys.
You know,
like
Tom
2 months
Tom Aspinall didn't get an announcement for the heavyweight champion. He doesn't get to go out there and receive it like everyone like the ones before him have in a fight that he probably was going to win against John Jones. You don't know, but it seems like the odds were.
He would have been the favorite.
The odds were in
not
his
a crazy
side.
favorite, but he would have been the favorite. I
but like, dude, I don't know. Worked his whole life for this. That would have been his moment, and he gets a phone call, or hopefully, it was a phone call and it wasn't just him watching that post game or the press conference live.
But I think everybody kind of knew he was the real champ, anyways. But that's
yeah, I know,
but we'll just get this out of the way because we'll talk about it more on the live show. Jake Paul card coming up this weekend, and it's also International Fight Week. If you did not know, big event for MMA and combat sports all over the world. So enjoy it because there's only 1 week, and then it's gone. Nothing else to say on that. Jake Paul obviously taking on Chavez Jr. And then there is also a title fight before him as a co-main event. I believe it is in the lightweight division. I'll have to double check. It's just escaping my mind on who's fighting there. People like Holly Holm also fighting on the card. So it's a good card. Say what you want about Jake Paul. Great promoter. How his fight's going to go. It's another older guy. Just watch it. If you want.
You don't have to.
You can watch the rest of the card, though. It's a good card, and you get a good title fight.
Main event.
It's just the main event.
I'm pretty sure you can assume.
I mean, if you love Chavez Jr., this is probably his last one. So if you're a longtime boxing fan, you've been watching him your whole life. So, I mean, you get to watch him one more time.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to watch him.
And I think he'll be...
I don't know if you want to watch him get knocked out by Jake Paul.
If he gets knocked out, he's not a guy who gets knocked out, but we'll see.
He's 39, dude.
Yeah.
He's on the older side.
He stopped caring a long time ago, too. Yep. But with that being said, I think he will... It won't be kind of a Jake Paul carries him like the Mike Tyson situation. I think it'll actually be somewhat of a fight.
Could be.
Like the Mike Tyson situation was...
Oh, my God.
Jake Paul carried him. I mean, end of the day.
An old guy. Oh,
which, to be honest, a lot of people are mad about that, but I would give... Like, if I was fighting Mike Tyson at his age, I'm not knocking him out. That's silly. That'd be fucked up. You can't let him go out like that. You gotta just carry him through the fucking fight.
Yeah.
Don't knock him out.
But, like, for individual legacy... I knocked out Mike Tyson. You don't got to say when you knocked out Mike Tyson. You guys got to you knocked out Mike Tyson.
He was in rough shape though. Of course, everybody, we're gonna get to the NBA.
Oh,
Just give us a second here.
I'm waiting. I'm just
NHL obviously finished. Panthers win the Stanley Cup. I already talked about it.
You could see me. I'm like chewing my fucking nails off waiting to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, we had
He's over there shaking.
Chomping at the bits.
We did have two decent sized news for the NHL. Trevor Zegras is going to Philadelphia. Not happy about that. It's actually a shit trade for the Ducks. I think they got nothing for him. I know he's been having some shit seasons, but you can't doubt talent, and he has talent. Lowry extends with the Bruins. My Bruins for 2 years, 6.4 in total, so 3.2 each year. I thought it was a little more on the high end. But he's a guy who has He has talent. He's got to work a lot on defense. His offensive ability he's an offensive defenseman, but his defensive ability as a defenseman is not great.
He's not great.
As of late. Minus, I think it's 49. He's a minus 49 when on the ice. I mean, that's atrocious. I know plus minus is a team stat. I don't even think there's many guys on the Bruins who are even close to that. I mean, that was bad. That's a bad stat, bad look for him. But like I said, he has great playmaking ability, great goal scoring ability. The only problem is he's also just a defenseman.
Well, being an offensive defenseman in hockey is just like, it's a tongue twister, counteracts itself. Just doesn't sound like a good place to be. You know, if you're a defenseman,
there's some great ones. But
their defensive prowess has to be good enough to maintain
He can become a great
it.
offensive defenseman. He just has to be average on
at defense. Yeah,
the problem is
he's a liability.
In my personal opinion, he's too small. He's something like 6'3", and he's only. If I had to guess, I could probably pull it up. If you want to pull that up for me, Brady, real quick. But
what?
Let's do a little guessing game. I'm gonna guess he's 6'3", 190. Let's see.
How do I spell his name? How do I spell his name?
Mason Lohrei. Lohrei.
I wasn't listening at first. That's why. So what was your guess? I have it.
6'3", 190.
6'4", 212.
He's still small for his size.
Not big.
6'4", 212 is pretty fucking small for a guy who's 6'4". Playing a professional hockey. I would like to see another 10 pounds added on that frame. His frame's very slender, we'll say.
So essentially, he needs
and
a cheeseburger.
he needs to hit more people. He doesn't like to hit enough, and that bothers me. What happened to the big bad Bruins? We've turned into the big soft Bruins. Soft and Charmin. Soft as Charmin. That should be our fucking motto this year. Okay, that's enough on that though. Through the NHL, and all right, let's head right into our overrated, underrated segment. Why not?
You're holding me back.
Well, because we're gonna have a long segment on it. So
you're holding
I just
me
want to.
back.
I want to make sure we get through everything before we waste. Well, not waste, but before we have to talk about the NBA for 30 minutes.
It's okay.
I'll go real quick. I'm going to go underrated. Has been, which I like doing my overrated because I like ranting. But for underrated, I got to go with the FIFA Club World Cup.
All right.
It's been really cool.
I agree.
It's been really cool.
Finish your thought, but I just saw this awesome. I saw this tweet and I got to tell you.
Okay. This is a new thing. And I think it's awesome to see how teams from the MLS, teams from, just North America in general, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, the top teams all get together and get to play each other. And, it's cool to see a team from Brazil get to play a team like Bayern Munich from Germany. And with no surprise, the European teams have
an edge.
Looking like the Kings right now. I would be shocked if a European team doesn't win it. But with that being said, it is awesome to see. And yeah, a lot of these games are lopsided. Why don't you just give it a rest and just watch? Stop complaining.
Stop bitching. Just turn.
Yeah, there'll be good games later. Yeah, it's gonna come probably down to the European teams. I get it. They got
why
the
not
money.
watch the?
They have the money. Yada yada. Nobody was fucking banking on fucking Miami to beat Chelsea. So
why not?
I mean, you can bet on it if you believe in it, but I don't.
Betting on it. I don't believe in it.
It's probably like plus 2,000. I don't think they're in the same group.
Probably not. They're probably not in the same group at all.
They could be though.
Maybe.
Well, it's just random. Like I saw one team was like plus 10,000. Auckland City was. It was like Auckland City versus. Is that the tweet you wanted to show me?
It's the Marlboro Stealth Bomber.
Marlboro
and
Stealth
the USS Newport.
That's crazy.
It's as if I was a president, I'd close our national deficit by selling advertising packages to big tobacco companies. It's just a picture of a stealth bomber with a Marlboro logo and then the USS Newport.
Yeah, so that pretty much concludes my thoughts. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's in America. I wish they had a game in our area. I would have won for sure. no matter who was playing. I would have won.
Still something to see.
Unfortunately, it was only, I think New York was the closest, and that's,
It's not that close.
I'm not going to New York.
It's kind
for
of
that.
deep.
I'll be in New York in the fall though.
We will be in New York.
We'll be in New York.
We'll be in
fall or winter. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Nick, you want to go next?
I literally don't have one.
You don't have one?
No, so you just go.
All right.
I thought you wanted to talk about mayo.
I fucking hate mayonnaise, dude. It's specific. The worst part is.
Well, there you go. That's.
All right, hold on. All right, man. No, it's the worst part about mayonnaise is as a Titans fan watching a year of Will Levis and then watching Will, dude, watching Will Levis throw like the worst interception of all time, and then 5 seconds later he's doing a split on 2 Hellman's cans. It was just the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. It was this. You might have to swing this back for Drew for a second, dude. Like this is like it was.
That commercial was so fucking bad too.
Like, bro, like the Bears game. You watch him do the flick, and he's on the ground like this with his hands on his head on the ground looking, and then 5 seconds later, he's got a spoonful of Hellman's.
Well, the loss to the Jets was really bad too.
In his mouth.
The loss to the Jets, the Titans actually could have won that game. I forgot how he fumbled it. Like, he fumbled it like diving forward. Or
Dude,
something.
he broke the ball boy's leg in the Colts game.
Oh.
You remember that? When he did like the rush, and then all of a sudden you see the kid and he's on the ground. He's like,
Yeah, Will Levis, man. He
put on
you know, the thing with Will Levis though, you can't say it was never
the kid.
It was never unwatchable, no matter how bad.
No.
Because he would find new ways to somehow be like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, bro, Will Levis would have like the worst like he would have a fantastic drive. Like he would have like a 10 play, like 90-yard drive, get him down to the red zone, and then just fuck it up in the most
shitty way.
Shitty, shocking way. It was crazy. It was insane. It was fucking crazy.
Nothing beats ever like the picture of him when he was hurt. His face.
You know, on the sideline next to me.
You can tell he's in so much pain too, but like his face is
It's just so bad.
It's so funny.
It's so
but
bad.
Like you know, like I feel bad because he's in so much pain, but like you could not.
He was the
laugh.
he was the NFL's meme player of 2025.
Literally.
I don't know who's next. Someone's next.
And he had a sex tape release, which was brutal too.
Yeah, he's on like the top of the NFL like joke
just
list.
like crazy shit.
He just had a wild year.
A guy who did absolutely nothing, but like a guy who
Got
he's
everything
gonna
that
be
happened to him.
remembered for decades to come.
Oh, he's gonna live in Titans fans' hearts.
Yeah.
Not for good reasons.
There's like a million ways he fucked up. Sex tapes released.
You know what's disgusting?
Hellman's.
Remember, I was a believer in Will Levis.
I thought he had talent.
I did
I
too.
knew he was big.
I thought there was something there.
I think sometimes the coaching. I thought they should have ran with him more, let him run a little bit more. But that's a discussion for later.
Yeah.
All right, Nick.
Cam Ward QB season.
Anyways,
I was gonna say what the fuck? We're just
my
sitting here silently.
my over under this week is the 82 game season for the NBA is overrated, and by that I mean the game has just gotten so fast paced that it's hard to like, especially like just now, and we're gonna get into it more after I lay it out, but the amount of injuries that have happened in this postseason is ridiculous, and my boy's team over here pretty much got fucked because of it.
You're asking for me to get up and like swing the mic over. You lost mic privileges. That was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. What the fuck is wrong? Get the fuck out of here. You didn't even
Let me defend Frapp here for a
That
second.
was so stupid. There was no thought behind that at all. It was over 82 games in the season. No, dumbass. You're trying to say that there's too many games in the fucking season because players are getting hurt because the game's changing and it's moving faster. Yeah, I understand that. Wear and tear, yada, 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 nonsense. Nonsense!
Yeah, 82 game season, I agree, can be overrated at times. Because guys are bigger, stronger, and faster in every sport. It's evolving. Guys keep getting bigger. Guys keep, as sports science increases, so do the players. Unfortunately, your ACLs,
Your ligaments
your
and tendons
Achilles,
do
your
not get
ligaments,
stronger.
your the bigger you get, the easier it is to tear something.
'Cause
That's why a lot of people
they're-
don't know. The bigger muscles you have, the easier it is to tear them.
Because they stretch thinner and they're long
Yep.
as fuck.
Yep, exactly. Especially NBA players, because NBA players are obviously much taller than the average person.
Taller-
So are NFL, but NFL players tend to not be like 6'8". They tend to be like a 6'2".
6'8", 6'9", running lateral
Yeah.
and vertical movements for 48 minutes
Yeah.
for 82 games in a season,
So,
not including playoffs.
It goes to every sport. It's that's why you see a lot of guys. They take they do what the hell do they even call in the NBA now when they take rests?
That's literally what it is.
Some rest. They take rest games here and there, man.
But
A lot of them
actually,
do. Especially-
you know what's
especially
funny
the older
about that
guys.
is teams are now getting punished for players taking rests, but now ever since they've been getting punished, injuries have gone up. So
Yeah.
maybe players taking rest games and actually not wanting to play for a game, taking a game off, actually was benefiting their health. Crazy how that works.
Well, it's true, but I would also I would make the counter argument. I really wouldn't be opposed if they wanted to try maybe even just decreasing it by 10.
I was gonna say
That's-
12,
that's
have a 70-game
that's-
season.
I think it'd be reasonable.
Reasonable for the players and the fans, correct.
Yeah.
For the money bags, no, they're not going to shave off 12 games. That's 12 games in the year for each team that they're losing money on. They're not going to want to do that. They don't give a fuck about health. They want money.
True. And now I've always sorry, we're watching watching tough season, Chael versus DC. The guy just got kicked in the nuts like a motherfucker. Hope his ball bag's all right. Anyways, yeah, I agree. They probably wouldn't. It depends how much, because the injuries are happening more and more across all sports. But we'll see. I mean, they'll see if it's gonna have a conversation. It's gonna happen at the owners' meetings at the end of the day, and those greedy bastards probably aren't doing it. A lot of good owners, not all completely greedy bastards.
Most of them.
A lot of them. All right. Let's go. So, we're on the topic. So, let's I'll do a quick recap before Brady starts ranting and whatever the fuck he's about to say.
You got literally like 30 seconds
Okay.
before I just start going.
The Oklahoma City Thunder win the championship. Congratulations. It's been a long time coming for them. That team is crazy. I think they're the second youngest team to ever be in the finals or win. Either one of those.
Both.
Both. So, this would be shocking if this is their last finals they're in. They're at least going to be, I said, probably 2 more in the next 5 years. I don't know if they're going to win them, but they're going to probably be in them. They're that young and they're that good. As long as they keep the team together, we'll see. But so congratulations to them. I mean, they were definitely, in my mind, the best team in the NBA. And it came down to one game, man. One game. But yeah, congratulations to them. They had a historic season. They came pretty close to matching some of the bowl seasons. Not quite, but they came pretty fucking close for a regular season record.
He's warming up.
So pretty historic
I'm just
season.
waiting for him to start talking about the babies in blue.
And congratulations. Obviously, we can get into the game now. Game 7. What was the finish? Like 106 something? I think they scored. What
I
was
know the exact. It's 103.91.
103.91. Never got too. It was close in the first half. First half was awesome to watch. It really was. Like, I was expecting a blowout one way or the other. That was my prediction. I was happily surprised by how good the game was in the first half. OKC was a little sloppy, and that definitely allowed the Pacers to do some more work.
Besides the elephant in the room.
Yep, we can get into that now. Obviously, early on in the game, Tyrese Halliburton tears his Achilles, which, you never want to see, especially Achilles tears. Same thing happened to Tatum. Achilles tears are, you'd rather tear an ACL. You'd rather, fucking tear your shoulder off. They're just the worst because they take legitimately like a year to heal. very few guys can come back even the next year after, unless it happens really early in the season, to even play the next year. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, especially if you're playing basketball. There's some positions of sports you can probably get away with it, but for the most part, a lot of guys can't even play the next year. At least will miss a lot of time rehabbing that, and you should, because if you try to push that after already tearing it, it's never gonna get stronger after. It's not gonna be good. So, Tyrese, guys like Tyrese Tatum, we'll focus on Tyrese because obviously that's the one that just happened. You never want to see what ifs in sports. It sucks, because now you gotta think, what if he didn't get hurt? Because he was having a game. What was he, 3 for 4? 3 for 4 from 3.
They were winning that game if he doesn't get hurt.
See, that's a bold statement. I don't know. I wouldn't
nope,
go that far.
Nope. It's my time to speak. I'm done. I'm done listening. I've been waiting for too fucking long about this bullshit ass game. He was gonna have a 30-point masterclass. That was gonna be his superstar breakout game, and he was gonna celebrate on Oklahoma's fucking home floor, and it was gonna be glorious. Congrats to the Thunder to winning a fucking championship. I mean, I don't know. Lou Dort's a communist. I just he can just do whatever the fuck he wants, gets away with it. Same with Alex Caruso. It's crazy. Literally watching the game, you could see the video of TJ McConnell's. They're holding his wrist in front of the ref while he's dribbling, like this, just full hand around the wrist. They're not calling it. It's just stupid shit. Now, and the worst part is this Pacers are done. Next season is a wash. Yeah, they'll be. What? They're gonna be fine next year. They'll be, or whatever. They might be the 6th seed next year. Woo-hoo. Good for them.
Tyrese still gonna wash though.
He's out for 10 to 12 months. It doesn't matter. I know what to expect. I'm not stupid. He's gonna be out for 10 to 12 months. You're gonna see a supplemental point guard come in for 1 year. You're gonna see Russell Westbrook get signed for a fucking veteran minimum. I don't even know if you can re-sign Miles Turner, because I honestly don't think you can justify going into the. You can sign Miles Turner, but can you justify going into the luxury tax without your superstar? No. No Tyrese. You cannot justify going into the luxury tax, which means a player like Obi Toppin, a movable contract, is going to get moved.
Let's stick to the game, and then let's get to contracts after.
Fine. Fuck. All right. The main thing is Tyrese's Achilles snapping is the problem is you saw it in 2019 with KD. Playing through a calf strain, looks fine. One wrong movement, pop, it's done.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That was an all-time low day for me.
At least it wasn't
and
game
then they
7.
won.
At least it wasn't game fucking 7. It was week 1. At least it wasn't game.
It was pretty bad because that was season's over. I didn't even get my football. It was just over.
At least you didn't fight all the way to the last 30 minutes.
I was talking with our other friend who happens to be a Thunder fan.
Fuck him.
And I made the point that, it might have been better if the Thunder just didn't absolutely fucking choke game 1. And
but if the Pacers don't blow,
and then maybe it ends in 5, probably. If the series somehow goes the exact same way.
If the Pacers don't blow game 4, the series also ends in 5 because they go up 3. Pacers go up 3-1.
Yeah. It's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of what ifs. At the end of the day, we did have this discussion before when we were talking about last week when we were talking about
Probably
legacies and winning. At the end of the day, what happens.
Oh no, this
and we can only go off of what happened.
Besides
the Kobe year, that was Mickey Mouse. It was a good game. The Pacers towards the end brought it to 10. And I kept saying, we were watching it together, I kept saying, if they can get it within 10, then
not without Tyrese.
at least they had a chance.
Not without Tyrese.
And then they got it to 10, and then it quickly went back up to 15 pretty fucking quickly, unfortunately.
Fucking.
So, the last part of the game, it kind of even though it wasn't over, by the fourth quarter, the celebration kind of started. You felt it. You could feel it I would say the start of the fourth was when it was it wasn't looking good, for sure. Well, you got to give it to the Pacers. The Pacers did not give up.
I stopped
Especially
giving. I
Benedict
genuinely
Mathurin.
stopped
What was that
giving a
about?
fuck after Tyrese tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
I was done. After Tyrese tore his Achilles, I was done. Literally, the Pacers can't. The franchise is cursed, bro.
Benedict Mathurin, though, just absolutely taken over the last 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Could have
he
done that all game, that fucking
played
prick.
good, but
I fucking love Benedict Mathurin. Talk about a guy who's huge upside with athleticism. He just took over the game the last 4 or 5 minutes, and it was fun to watch.
6 overall pick for a reason. I don't know. I'm scared because the future. Like, you literally have no idea. Like, next year it's going to be Andrew Nemhard, Benedict Mathurin, Neesmith, and Pascal.
Perfect.
No. The question mark is Miles.
Well, you don't know. Give the guy a chance.
He's not going to be a starter.
He was a dog at Kansas.
He's not going to be a starter.
You never know.
Rick Carlisle does not play the young guys.
He could be, have a little breakout. And he's your new superstar. Probably not.
In the pipe dream of in the pipe dream of your wet dreams, sure, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. You never know. There's always a diamond in the rough, right?
I guess. That was probably the most heartbreaking loss I'll ever experience as a sports fan. The fuck are you laughing about?
Yeah, it was tough. Game 7.
That's probably like
it was one
heartbreaking and
one game away. Yeah,
ever.
1 game away.
Yeah, that was probably the most heartbreaking ever.
Game 7s are that's what makes Game 7s great, though. They're unforgiving on your emotional well-being.
No, it's like
They take a toll. They're hard to watch if you're cheering for one of the other teams.
Yeah, no, I mean, Shea was respectable about it. He did say he did say something like competent. No,
He's not going to be like, Halliburton's hurt, man. We won. Good job. Obviously, they're going to be like, prayers up, dog.
I did see him go right up to Halliburton after he got hurt, which was classy. But, Shea's obviously, he almost had the Triple Crown, right? He was pretty close to it. He was very close. He had fucking regular season MVP, finals MVP. I guess you could kind of like a different Triple Crown. He got the championship too.
He did.
But, no, because the Triple Crown's the fucking all-star MVP. It's all 3 MVPs. I don't think has anybody ever done the Triple Crown in basketball?
Also, MVP is like a joke.
I know, but that was like an old
Triple Crown in NBA would be MVP, Conference Finals MVP, Finals MVP, which Shea got. So technically, yes. And he'd be one of the first people to do it because that Finals MVP trophy, or that Conference Finals MVP trophy, hasn't been along for a while.
Pascal got pretty. You got to give. Well, who you really got to give props to in this game is Chet, though. He was having a shit series, and he really stepped
offensively.
Up. Yeah, but he really shut down T.J. McConnell going forward.
He was fantastic defensively all series. He just couldn't shoot. There was never a doubt his defense was there.
Yeah, but this was like the first game where it was like when TJ was driving. TJ. He wasn't able to do much once Chet really started getting there, and they made that adjustment. So that could have been on the coach. So if that's on the coach making that adjustment there, that's great coaching because if anybody was going to give him life, it's probably going to be TJ, and they gave him no breathing room when he was driving, and they really shut him down. So you got to give him props there. On the defense, we already knew that defense is they're fucking stronger than the Hoover Dam.
They didn't shut TJ went on a 10-point run alone. He was like the only player.
They shut him down. They shut him down late. They shut him down real late, and he didn't. I felt like all around defense. I thought Chet played him well. I never felt like they got. It never felt like they had any good momentum. They didn't allow any big momentum swings. Go on the Pacers' favorites after the first half.
It's kind of hard when you see your star player's Achilles, his leg pop off.
I know, but you can't keep going to that because we gotta take the game at face value.
Yeah, the entire team got shell shocked.
Sometimes you rally around something like that.
You clearly didn't.
Well, yeah, and that's on them. At the end of the day, it's win or lose. You gotta find a way to win. They didn't.
Yeah,
but you gotta. Hey, Pacers, amazing season. I did not think they were going to even make the NBA Finals. I thought for sure it was Celtics or Cleveland almost undoubtedly. And I thought probably going into the conference finals, I thought the Knicks were going to win.
No.
I felt like the Knicks were a slightly better team, and I thought the Knicks were going to beat them. That didn't happen either.
I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, the Pacers, just underdogs in almost every series. Vegas makes the lines for a reason, and they came as an underdog and came out victorious, and that makes this run.
To be fair, anyone that was really paying attention with basketball knew the Pacers were good because they
were good. But
in the 2025 calendar year, the two teams with after 2025, like January 1st, the only two teams with the highest win percent in the NBA was Thunder 1, Pacers 2. Pacers started off slow because they had 2 weeks no Halliburton because the hamstring injury, 2 weeks of no Nesmith and Nembhard. So yeah, they started off 10 and like 12 and 18, but they weren't a bad team. They were just struggling with injuries.
No, I'm talking about the playoffs.
Yeah,
in the playoffs. I mean, listen,
they were better than Milwaukee. They were just
I think Milwaukee they were actually favored. That was one series they were favored. The other two
Cleveland did the same thing they did last year. They choked in the second round. That's not surprising to me. They're a better team than the Knicks. The Knicks just have more star power and face value, and the Knicks beat up a damaged Celtics team. They weren't better than the Pacers. The Pacers were a better team than them. It's
make
just
that case.
It's just easier to say the Knicks are just better because it's Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, yeah, cool. They have names. They don't got shit for depth.
Yeah. I mean, let's not take anything away from the Knicks. Had a pretty good season as well.
Yeah,
that was a good run. And hey, the Pacers, for all intents and purposes, it was a Cinderella run due to the underdog. What do I want to say? Underdog headline that they were kind of put under. They're always the dogs in almost every series. So and they kept coming out on top, and then nobody expected them to go because of that game one changed the trajectory of the series. A lot of people thought in 5, and then they win that game 1. That changes the series, and, then they get all the way to a game 7. And then, in my opinion, at the end of the day, Tyrese going down fucking sucks, and in game 7, anything happens. They brought it all the way to a game 7, in my opinion, against a better team. And they kept fighting, and they kept fighting. Even at the end, they kept fighting. They had pretty much no chance of winning, it felt like, in the set, like, once it got to like 20, but they kept, they never gave up. I mean, that game could have ended by, 30 points difference. I mean, easily. But they kept fighting, and, that's respectable, and that's definitely a season that, as a Pacers fan or just as a basketball fan, you look back and be like, wow, like that was fun to watch. I loved watching the Pacers throughout the whole playoffs. Like, they were exciting to watch. What about you? Anything?
Nothing insightful.
You enjoyed watching the Pacers this playoffs?
I love watching the Pacers.
Yeah, they were exciting. Pacers basketball was exciting.
It was.
And they kept surprising me.
It was an exciting series. Very exciting. Give him mic. Very exciting postseason from the Pacers. Like you, an average basketball fan could. I mean, you already said it. Like you could have never seen the Pacers get to this point. Like, but obviously even with them being like these underdogs, I still have a lot of respect for the Pacers. Very insightful, like, team building from the front office. Like, they have a really deep, respectable bench, and I mean, just heartbreaking to see them go out like this. Like, I told you, I was genuinely upset to see it end like this. And if you're a basketball fan, in general, like, this is tragic.
The injury.
Yeah, the injury.
Yeah.
Especially. So back to you.
In fairness to the Thunder as well, you also account for it. It always sucks when you don't get to beat a team at their best, Yeah. Because beating Tyrese 2 with the Pacers, like, there's no doubt,
I mean, you can make...
Yeah, you wish, like, you always want to beat someone at their best.
The Thunder, literally, every single round the Thunder played, someone got a significant injury. So that's kind of like... You just play who's in front of you.
It is what it is. But
I don't like the injury. I don't like the injury discourse. Like, the injury discourse kind of sucks. Like, you can't discredit things because of injury. Like, it's just play who's in front of you. Yeah, I think the Pacers would have won that game, but they didn't. It's still who you play the 5 that's in front of you. It doesn't.
Yeah.
None of that other shit matters.
So with that concludes a very exciting NBA season. That was probably the most exciting NBA playoffs I've seen in a while.
Due to Indiana.
Yeah. It was, I mean, mainly in the Eastern Conference. But hey, you got to give props to the Nuggets too. They gave the Thunder a run for their fucking money as well.
Yep.
And that was a great series to watch.
And then Aaron Gordon tears his ACL and they lose Game 7.
Yeah, that was hard to watch as well. A lot of injuries, but hey, that was an exciting season to watch. It's over. We now officially in the dog days of summer. And you know what that means, Nick?
Yeah, 2 days NBA draft.
It feels like football season. There's nothing else to watch.
NBA draft is in 2 days.
Yeah.
We have
Look
that to look forward to.
We have that, but America's sport is coming back. We got MLB, a lot of MLB to talk about. Yeah. So, we're going to be carried by baseball here. We're going to have some, NHL will have their trades and their signings, and same with NBA, they'll have the draft. Their signings and their trades, we'll get all through that, and we got the MLB, which, this is really the meat of the season. Games are really starting to matter. A lot of divisions are real close at this point in fighting with the Mets and the Phillies is one that you guys, if you guys aren't watching, Mets ended up on an 8-game loss streak. Phillies are back in. That division is something to watch throughout the whole thing. The Yankees were actually also on a 7-game loss streak. And our Sox were coming back, but I think the Yankees are still going to win the division for all intents and purposes. But it would be nice to see the division get a little more hairy, as they say.
More importantly, before we brush off, Kevin Durant was traded to the Houston Rockets for Phoenix Suns. Yeah, no, the Houston Rockets. I'm right. For the Phoenix Suns, for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick, and 5 second-round picks. So Phoenix, essentially, they get Jalen Green, they can put in Dylan Brooks, which is all right. I like Jalen Green as a young prospect. It's interesting. He needed to get out of Houston. It was either going to be him or Sengun. I don't think they worked well together at all in that scheme. It's just not a fit that works well at all. But, so it's a good trade. Phoenix, they get Jalen Green, which is great. Dylan Brooks is a good defender. I mean, I don't really know. I think you can move Dylan Brooks again. I don't really think you need him. I think you could just flip him again for something else. And then the number 10 pick, which the number 10 pick could be anything. At this point, you might fuck around and get Ace Bailey with the way he's dropping. He wants to act like fucking Shadur Sanders and just not show up to draft interviews. He was projected to go top 3 just off all of his credentials alone. You know who's going right now? It seems that 1 and 2 are solidified. Cooper Flag is going to 1 to Dallas, and San Antonio is going to be taking Dylan Harper. It's just happening. 1 and 2 is solid. Ace Bailey was supposed to be a gimme for number 3, but that's, like I said, he's not showing up to draft interviews. He doesn't want to work out with teams. He just thinks he's a sure thing, and he thinks he's a sure number 1 thing. And teams don't like that. So they're not gonna take him. They don't want a head case. They don't want problems in the locker room. They don't want someone who thinks they're their shit.
That's the whole Shadur Sanders thing.
Exactly, which is why he's gonna fall. He's projected to go 6 right now.
Shadur Sanders' point, his dad didn't fucking help either. Love Dion, but his dad was a pain in the ass to the NFL.
It's just, I don't understand the Hollywood aspect of it. Yeah, you did great. You still have to work out for the teams. You still have to prove the fact that they're not taking you because they're investing in you.
Yeah.
It's not you don't take me because I don't want to go there. No, you don't get a fucking choice.
Yeah.
You are the product. You get drafted. But whatever team drafts you, it's your responsibility to put out for them. And you don't get to be like, man, I'm too good. I don't want to fucking work out. What do you mean? You don't just get to decide. You don't get to do the pre-draft workouts. It shouldn't be a decision that you get to have. That should be a requirement for more sports.
Well, because the problem is it's with individual teams usually. So, I mean, obviously you have your pro day.
You should still have to. I think you should still be. I think you should. They should set a minimum. You should have to at least meet with a minimum of teams. I don't think you should just be able to do nothing.
Yeah.
That's just being able to do nothing is just stupid. What'd you say?
3 teams.
I was thinking 5.
Most
Five?
people do a lot.
I was gonna say like 5 to 10.
Like
dude.
if you're like a first round draft pick in the NFL, dude, you might do one. You might do like 20.
If you're not like guaranteed
If
top,
you're not an
if you're not top 3 and like if you're not one of the top 3 in the NBA, dude,
Oh yeah. No,
I would
yeah.
work out with anything from 10 to
Anything,
15. Cause like if you're a lottery pick, you can fall anywhere. Cause like you know how it is. Like lottery pick, like the draft odds change after people see the player's kit and how they actually fit into a style. Like I'm trying to think of the kid's name, but there's one French kid that's flying up the draft board this year, and he's just a raw prospect, and he's just moving up because he's just looks well, his body comp is well, his athleticism and vertical are well, and he just has the good things of a winning basketball player. That's why he's climbing the draft board sneakily. Like you have players like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that you should have to work out with more a solid amount of teams, because you just like, dude, you have, let's say you're like projected to go 15, 16. You have a great workout with the team that goes 10, and they love the way you play and they love the way you fit.
It also means
That-
more money for
That's
you.
yeah.
The lower you get drafted, the more money you make.
Well, yeah, that too, but even like the discrimination from like 12 to 14 or some shit like that, like obviously you might want to get drafted higher, but if you played better with a different team and it might work out better, it's all situational. I just think there should be a limit. You shouldn't be able to just be like, I'm not working out with anybody. Whoever wants to take me, I'm a gamble. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
smart.
ridiculous.
You have the privilege.
You're just tanking yourself. You're literally just tanking yourself. That's all you're doing.
Like, you have the privilege of going to the NBA, and you're like, nah.
It's
I'm
five.
gonna be disrespectful about it.
It's five.
Thinking I'm
It's
just-
5-star syndrome. It's a new thing. It's 5-star syndrome.
It's,
five-
it's ridiculous.
Well, I
You know
mean,
how many people dream of being in the fucking NBA?
listen. It's you gotta think about it like this. Like not even NBA. Like this 5-star syndrome. Just look at Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward.
On playing
Look at the-
professional sports.
Look at the way Cam Ward treats the game versus the way Shedeur Sanders has treated the game up to now.
Yep.
Shedeur's a rapper.
So was,
Cam Ward wants to be known as a
so was
football
Miles
player.
Bridges.
27 days.
27 days.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having
There's
hobbies.
nothing wrong with.
But
No, no,
Shedeur
no.
Sanders,
Shedeur-
Shedeur
you know
Sanders
the
just
point I'm trying to
handled,
make.
him and his dad handled a lot of the. They thought they were.
the shit.
He was highly touted more than he was on a lot of draft boards, and he made a lot of mistakes, and that could be corrected.
Do
hopefully
you
later
do
on in
you
his career.
actually think that it was internal?
What?
The reason he fell so low. You really think it was internal? You think you think it was like
Oh, do I think it was like
an ownership like
they came together and said
like
don't draft him?
that's what I was asking.
No.
Like a congregation of ownership,
think-
like
I
we'll all
think
mutually not touch
legitimately
him until this
A
late.
lot of teams don't
obviously
need a
not.
quarterback. And,
No, they didn't.
And
And the ones that did in this draft already had their guys.
and a lot of teams already had their kind of guys set. Titans wanted Cam Ward.
Yep.
The Giants wanted Jackson Dart.
Saints wanted Joe,
The Steelers wanted Will Howard.
and
They liked him.
apparently the Browns wanted Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, that just means the Browns wanted Dylan Gabriel. That means Dylan Gabriel on at least on the Browns draft board.
It was higher than
QB's
Shedeur.
ranked. He was ranked higher. Now a lot of this is like a lot of people say, "Didn't you watch him?" Yeah, I watched him a lot actually. Here's the thing: he didn't play the with the money NIL now. The best players play in the SEC right now. If you're not playing in the SEC, it's going to be tough to get drafted in the first round. It doesn't matter if you play or the Big Ten. We'll throw the Big Ten in there.
I think the Big Ten's. Yeah, you can argue the Big Ten.
The Big
It's just-
Ten's a little bit lesser than SEC,
But the majority of the
you
good
still have
competition's
Michigan,
over
you still
there.
have your Ohio States. If you're not in the Big Ten or you're not in the SEC, if you're in the ACC playing for like Duke, or you're in the Big 12 playing for a team like Arizona State, or you're in the Pac-12 sucks now. It's not even like really a thing. Or Big 10, Big 12, yeah, like you're playing lesser competition, and teams are going to account for that, and then they're going to really grade you on when you play the big competition. But sometimes it's hard to grade that because when you play those big teams, you know, if you're not on a great team, if you're on like Duke and you go play, let's say Georgia, you're going to lose 50-0. You know, it's hard to grade, and then
I mean,
you
you
know,
also
there's
put it
so
in-
many analytics that have to go into it. What position you play, what kind of defense are you running?
Well, specifically
or
for Shedeur
offense,
too, like
You know,
you could also say like, how good is Shedeur without Travis Hunter? Like
Yeah,
that's also an
you can
argument
make
you
a case.
can make. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not like Shador could be good. He could be a good quarterback. You never know. You never know. But also driving 101 miles an hour, getting caught doing it twice is ridiculous. Like eventually you're gonna. I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure isn't that illegal? Isn't that driving to endanger?
In fairness, LeBron James did it too when he got to Cleveland.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. I apologize, my Lord and Savior LeBron.
So maybe greatness just drives over 100 miles an hour.
The problem is he hasn't
45.
established greatness yet, though. Yeah, greatness doesn't stop for a 45.
Yeah, that's enough talk about fucking NFL.
Yeah, actually,
draft.
no.
What?
I'm gonna shock your world. You see, Daniel Jones is winning the QB battle.
It's not surprising to me.
That's fucking awesome.
Anthony Richardson was never that good, number one, and number two, he's an injury problem. So was Daniel Jones.
Well, I mean, like
But-
Cam and I were talking about it. Our friend Cam, who's the Thunder fan. That rhymed. But no, we were talking about it. Like Anthony Richardson only played 12 games in college, and then he's only played like 12 games in the NFL. So he's got like barely any reps. Remember,
Yeah.
he was the most raw prospect coming out of that draft class, which they drafted him 4th overall
Yeah.
too.
Experience matters, especially at the quarterback position. If you look throughout history, the quarterback position especially recently, the quarterbacks who have the most games played in college tend to be the best quarterbacks in the NFL going forward, or at least they're the more
To start
sure
off.
thing. Now the whole drafting a quarterback, it's a unicorn. You don't know. They
I
don't
think-
exist.
I think-
You can do all the analytics in the world. You don't know if a guy's going to be good or not.
They have a better
But-
guaranteed floor.
Yes.
The ceiling's always a question mark with quarterbacks. Some quarterbacks can just have like,
So experience really matters.
which
You
is
can
why
tell.
quarterbacks like
And
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. He's one. He doesn't have a crazy high ceiling, in my opinion, at least.
No, but you know what
But
his floor is.
He felt like a sure thing that it wouldn't suck. I mean, he's not. He's not great. I wouldn't say. I don't think he was great.
I mean, like Cam.
But he was good.
Cam Ward's had a few seasons, so we'll see what he looks like. I'm pretty sure Tyler Show also has a bunch of experience.
Yep. He played 5 years.
Um,
That's the thing. A lot of these older quarterbacks are
Are-
the ones who are getting the jobs. Like these guys are coming out of college like 25, 24.
But they're more knowledgeable, more
They're more
experienced.
knowledgeable, and
so
you
you
guys
can put
like,
them in the
oh, but you don't get them as long. Well, I mean, do you want to win or do you want to like hope
Gamble.
and pray that you can win?
because the Colts are kind of Colts are gambling right now.
They are, but I mean, listen, it is so
All right,
early. We're not even. In
all right, yeah.
training camp.
This is ridiculous.
We're not even in
This is
fucking
ridiculous.
training
You want to do
camp
picks
yet.
of the?
We're
You want to do
doing
pick of the week?
OTAs.
You want to? Let's move on from NFL. You want to do the pick of the week?
Yep. Let's move right into the pick of the week.
I'm gonna go with mine. I already said it earlier. I have Jake Paul by KO, TKO, or DQ. I can't believe I'm putting my integrity in Jake Paul.
Did you win last week? You
Pacers
bet?
+6. That was game 6.
Okay.
So yes, yeah,
So what's your record? Now?
2-1.
2-1.
I'm 2-1. But +165 for a Jake Paul knockout. I like the odds. I don't see this fight going the distance either. I just don't.
We'll see.
So
Chavez Jr. is not going to be easy to knock out.
he's
but
not. But he's
Jake
also
Paul
old, and he
is-
hasn't. He's old. Hasn't really done it in a long time, and I don't think when was the last time he fought?
2023, I believe.
So it's almost 2 years ago now. He's 39.
Before that, it was like 2020.
You know, Jake he's in like the best shape of his life because he's fucking.
Yeah, that's all I think. What people don't
So-
understand about Jake Paul, he's great trainers, and he's spending a fucking fortune
On everything.
on nutrition, on equipment.
He has, like,
on trainers,
The best chefs to
on
make him the best meals. He uses the best equipment, the best everything.
He practices and spars and does everything. He trains like a champion,
all the time.
like an established champion.
The problem
how he
is
trains.
it would if he could. I would love to see Jake Paul fight someone in his age range. Like, that's the thing. Like,
I think if he win,
I think if he wins this fight, he will.
When he wins this fight, because he's gonna win.
you think his next one will be
His next one, because now I think in the cruiserweight, if I looked at the rankings for WBC, I mean, it all depends, which one. But he's nearing. I think he's already in the top 100, I believe. So, he's not. If he can win this, he probably drops to like maybe 70. You're looking at maybe a silver belt fight possibly soon. He won't be he's gonna be like 1 or 2 fights if he can get like someone like a Tommy Fury who has like a name or like a good fighter. He's not gonna be that far off from like a mid belt, like a silver belt.
But like I said, so my pick is to have him knock out because I do think that he could have knocked out Mike Tyson. He probably could have towards the end of that fight.
He carried him
But
out of respect.
Exactly. But I
Out of
don't think the
respect,
same
which I
respect
think
is
was-
there.
For Chavez Jr., no, because Chavez Jr. is 39. There's
Exactly.
plenty of guys that fight at 39.
I don't think there was same
Chavez
respect.
Jr. isn't like old and frail. Chavez Jr. just doesn't
I'm not
care.
I'm not comparing them.
Yeah.
I think they both care the same amount. I think Mike Tyson and Chavez don't care at all.
I think
they're
Mike
doing it
Tyson
for
really cared.
You think
I think
so?
he's just old.
I think he's just doing it for money because you know Jake Paul's offering
Well, that was
the
definitely
paycheck.
that was 100% a part of it. But I also think that Mike, well, I mean, once you lose that edge, you never get it back. He doesn't have his edge anymore. He just doesn't have it.
All right, I'm good there. If you want to move on, you can take yours.
All right, yeah, my pick of the week. Finally won last week. I guaranteed 2 in a row. At least get back to 500. I'm going to Ilya Topuria.
Are you
UFC 317?
2-2?
1-2.
1-2?
1-3.
Oh yeah, this is your second lock. My bad.
So, one last week. I guaranteed 2 in a row. So this one's gonna hit. He's fighting Charles Oliveira, who I used to love watching Charles. Not Brazil's favorite son anymore, unfortunately, because we have Nick.
Correct.
But one of the greatest of all time, Charles. But Charles Oliveira, if there's one thing that's wrong with him, he's not good at taking hard shots, and Topuria can hit hard.
He throws them
As
mean
fuck.
bitches.
And he ends a lot of fights in the first round. So this fight is, I think Charles might be able to fend him off for a little bit, but come that, it might end in the first. But I think it's going to be a 1-3 round, somewhere early, but probably not too early. If I had to guess, late second, Ilya's going to wear him out a little bit, and he's going to get that knockout win. So I'm taking Topuria by KO. I would take a money line, but he's minus like 500.
It's not even worth it.
So I mean, and there's agreement. It has to be, excuse me, has to be below minus 200. So at least it's like bettable as a straight bet.
Yeah, at least it's like a respectable bet. You're not.
I do think we should add this in. If it's over minus 200, you could do a parlay of 2 things over minus 200.
That's fine. Like a teaser.
Yeah,
Teasers are allowed.
It can be like a parlay. All right, Nick.
And if the odds are like crazy, like plus 500, holy shit! Never seen that. I have not seen that one before.
All right, this week I have Fluminense versus Mamelodi Sundowns. Fluminense from Brazil, Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa.
What's your record?
My record is still 1-1 because my last bet wasn't. It's still undecided, and I thought it'd be decided by like the end of that week. So I'm still 1-1.
Oh, you took MLS team, right?
I took an MLS team. It was
that's
Philly. Yeah, it was Philly.
So yeah, use a future.
I was didn't have enough information. I thought it was about to end right there, but yeah, I have Fluminense winning over the Sundowns minus 110. Fluminense's great team from Jesus Christ, all this barking. Fluminense is a great team from not where I'm from, but same fucking country.
Brazil's
favorite son.
Brazil's favorite son. Brazil's
So
favorite
I really see them coming out on top over this South African team.
Okay. What are the odds on that? Minus 110. Topuria by KO right now is minus 145. I'd get it on it now. I bet that gets pretty close to minus 200 come game time on Saturday. So I would hop on that now. So we went 2-0 last week. I'm pretty sure the MLS ends in like fucking December, by the way.
Yep, that's a hell of a future pick, Nick.
I think I looked at it and it's fucking crazy.
Let's see what this is worth now.
Oh God, what is he doing? What'd you do?
I think so. It looks like it's December 8th.
Yeah, it usually ends early December. It usually ends in December, the MLS Cup.
Well, fuck, Nick. I mean,
It's a long future.
That's a fucking future.
I mean,
To be honest, I don't know how I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I
See,
thought.
I don't know.
I didn't either.
I didn't even think about it.
Shit,
How long are we in this?
pretty deep.
Pretty deep.
What's that like?
What's pretty deep?
Yeah, I said pretty deep because I
45?
can't see the time. We're over an hour. Hour
we?
15. Hour 10.
No, hour 2.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's not bad
That's
at
not
all.
bad. No, we can keep it rolling for a little bit. This will just be like a longer one.
Well, to be honest, there's not much else to talk about. We're gonna be really getting into. Well, we get into. All right, well, because we got fucking flack for it. We'll get into the fucking Devers trade. Whatever.
I know, we literally got shit on for not talking about the Devers trade. I mean, it's not as hot, but Devers to the Giants.
We'll just talk about that, and then fucking baseball's the only thing we're gonna be able to talk about for the next fucking 6 months. So.
Well, hold on now. Braun Breaker just speared the fuck out of Penta.
Well, yeah, we can get into some WWE.
Fuck
Might
yeah.
as well.
It's on. I like
The
WWE.
fucking draft, NBA draft only lasts fucking 2-3 days, so I mean, it's not gonna give us that much content.
Nope, it's gonna give us one live stream of
And then
content that we're gonna
be
blow
talking
through.
about NFL. There's gonna be
And
NFL
UFC,
news.
baby.
There's gonna be a lot of NFL and then a lot of UFC talk and MLB. So, but we'll get into the Devers trade. He was traded for 2 pitchers and 2 other guys. That
Prospects. They're prospects.
Two prospects. How did I feel about it? Does this make the Red Sox better or worse? It makes them worse.
Of course, 1,000%
It
makes them worse.
And it
Is it a
kinda
better?
sucks
Is it a
'cause they're
better trade
getting
for the
real
future
hot.
though? It's yes. It's a better trade for the future.
I don't really like what we got, but
I think Devers had to go,
Devers had to go.
and I don't know how hot.
It was a problem in the locker room.
And with other
It was a-
teams
it was
also
a
knowing how
problem
much
in
of
the
a
media.
problem
It
he
was a
was.
fucking distraction for weeks.
Also with other
Since
teams thinking
before
about how
the year
much
started.
it came out that he was a problem in the locker room, in Boston.
Yeah.
Do you really think that other teams were offering that much, or is that like the Red Sox trying to get rid of him? Because it doesn't seem like.
I think the Red Sox are just trying to get fucking rid of him.
I
man,
think
'cause
it's
that
dude,
deal
'cause
kind of stunk.
It's Devers. You definitely can get more for that.
He's one. Yeah, he
one
was
of the best hitters in
he was
baseball.
he was
Like it's just.
arguably, besides fucking Judge, the second best hitter in the American League.
Of course, he hits a home run on us. His first home run as a Giant is
Yeah.
on the Sox. I mean that.
Well,
we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Not the first game,
Yeah.
but
First game we struck him out, but yeah, he was gonna hit one eventually. I mean,
it's Devers.
He's a
It's
hitter.
literally Rafael
hitter,
Devers.
yeah.
It's the lip. Looks like he's
Yeah.
packing a fucking dead mouse in that thing, dude.
so I mean, it's the right move. How much does this hurt the Red Sox chances to make the playoffs? It hurts it a little bit, but I think without distractions.
But, like, Marcelo
and they can
Mayer
just
looks nice.
Really get these young guys going and actually build a culture and a team, and like a good team environment, and get these guys going, and they can keep winning games. You know, I think in the end it's going to be more beneficial than it's going to hurt.
I agree with that. Plus, I mean, dude, you got Christian Campbell,
Yeah.
Roman
He
Anthony.
didn't get sent down to the minors.
He did, but he needs to work on his defense.
That's true.
It's kind of been bad. And he wants to play first base. I mean, first base isn't really like.
It's not.
That's
that hard
not that
to play.
hard. I mean, obviously.
well.
All right, we're saying it like we're.
It's one of the less
it's one of
hard
the
positions
easier
to play.
positions to play in baseball.
Yes.
At a professional
You know,
level.
it's not like playing
I'm not
fucking
saying that I
shortstop
could play
for sure.
fucking first base.
Or
I'd
even
probably
third base.
drop every fucking ball. But to be able for the Red Sox to be able to invest more in these young guys, it's kind of like if Devers is in there doing that nonsense in the locker room, you don't want that to rub off.
The Red
on
Sox,
the
the
younger
Red Sox are
guys.
so young right now.
They're prioritizing
we
the
don't
youth.
need it.
And I mean, fuck it, you still got Bregman. Bregman's out.
Yeah, we need Bregman back bad.
Bregman comes back. That team's
I'm
team's
a huge Bregman
decent.
guy. He just fits Fenway so perfectly. Like
I love
his
Bregman.
little pop shots to right field, they go out a lot in Fenway. It's like the perfect stadium for him.
Literally. Fuck, you think they move on from Trevor Story?
What?
You think they move on from Trevor Story?
I think they should.
I think it's coming.
I don't know if it's gonna be this year, but they should before next year.
It'll be by this offseason.
Yeah. I mean, I love him, but
It's time.
He's got to go.
It's time. Another player that doesn't fit the current culture.
Yeah. It won't, just make it not an ugly. As long as it's not an ugly departure, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I want
as
it to
we
be
get
nice.
a fair amount for him.
Like
I don't even know what the going rate for him at this point would be. 'cause
honestly,
he
I wouldn't even mind like Trevor Story being like, "Where do you want to go?" Like Trevor, you've done nothing wrong to us. Where would you like to go? And we'll see. Like, if the asking price is that low, fucking send him where he wants to. Don't make it a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Let him give you some options and see if you can work something out.
Well, a better way would do it just be like, where do you not want to go?
That too. That's fair. Just won't even
Opens up a lot more doors.
You're right.
So obviously Mets we're on an 8-game losing streak.
They're never gonna win
Phillies-
that game again.
Yeah, Frank the Tank freaking out.
What did you say it was? It was like the Mets won like 9-2. It was like Frank had like 18.
No, he had like 45 negative tweets, 3 neutral tweets, and 1 positive tweet about.
And they won by like 7 runs. It's like, dude.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, they won.
How
like
the fuck are you
11-3
complaining?
Or 11-4. Yeah,
The smile lady. The smile lady.
Yeah, that was brutal 2 years ago. Yeah, with the Mets, they're down 1 now in the division. I think they're still going to win the division. Actually, why don't finish off this podcast? Why don't we give a
Division finishers? Or what do you want?
let's just do straight MLB champion prediction.
You want to just do AL and NL?
All right, yeah, let's do who's going to make it and then who wins World Series.
All right, I'm good. All right, you want me to go or do you want to go?
You start. Why not?
So, I think the American League is going to just go to the Tigers. They have been the best team in the American League. It's hard to.
To be honest, it feels like it's the Yankees or the Tigers.
It does.
That's what it feels like.
I mean, the Astros are sneaky. Astros are good.
Sneaky.
They're
good.
They have the same amount of
They're
wins as the
sneaky,
Yankees, though. They both have 45 wins right now. They're really good teams. I just think the Tigers have the edge. I just hate the Yankees, and I'm not going to pick the Yankees. So I'm gonna go Tigers, and I'm gonna go Phillies. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna
That's bold.
believe it. They're the 2 seed right now. They're the 2 seed in the.
They
The
gotta
2 seed in
fight
the NL.
The Mets and the Phillies are going to be going at it all year. See who wins that division.
Schwarber, Tria Turner's having a good season. Castellanos. Listen, if World War III happens, Castellanos is going to have the best playoff run of all time, and you know it.
Yeah, well,
Well, technically that wouldn't happen, but Castellanos plays good when
we're not all fucking dead.
You're right. Castellanos plays better when catastrophes are going on,
It's true.
and obviously Bryce Harper's Bryce Harper, and
Yes.
I'm gonna dick on the table. I'm giving the Phillies. I want the Phillies to win it all. I want
love
Bryce.
that.
I want Bryce Harper to get
I would
it.
love to see dude. The only thing I always wanted to see the Phillies win, but Philadelphia has just had too much winning recently. The city of Philadelphia really needs
The thing is, though, is like
they really need like a
they need a break. They need like a heartbreaking loss.
a heartbreaking loss.
The problem is I
To
don't
put 'em
want it
back
to,
in their place.
but I don't want it to be Bryce Harper.
Because the problem is Rocky Balboa is no longer like the champion of the city. Now it's the Eagles.
Yeah,
The Eagles have done too much winning. It's no longer Rocky.
you can blame Nick
Balboa.
Foles for that.
Yeah,
Nick
good.
Foles is to blame.
I was, what a Nick Foles, man.
I just
cemented himself. In the NFL
Nick,
history.
Nick Foles is to blame for the reason
that's a
Philadelphia is the
wild
way
ride.
it is.
That is a wild ride. That game was. That whole fucking season, to be honest.
Carson Wentz MVP blows his knee up. Nick Foles comes in, fucking lays him out.
Yeah. I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna take the Mets to win the NL. This is crazy. None of us are taking the Dodgers because they have to be the betting favorites at this point. I'm gonna take the Mets and I'm gonna take the Yankees. I think the Yankees will be able to squeeze by Detroit in a AL conference final, ALCS. And then I'm gonna take the Mets to win the World Series over the Yankees.
Like, dude.
I would love to see a Subway Series World Series. That would be electric, man. Crosstown rivals.
I just don't want to see another Yankees Dodgers.
Yeah, and it looks like we're heading there. And the Yankees can't beat the Dodgers. They
don't have the firepower.
They can't do it.
Well, I mean, Judge also had the worst.
But the other thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees pick up somebody crazy before the season, before a postseason starts.
It's kind of crazy. We're also just
I think DeGrom.
You think DeGrom?
Yeah. I think they're going to pick him up.
The crazy thing is the Astros are just an all-around good baseball team. We're just sleeping on the Astros.
I just don't think they could beat the Yankees or the Tigers. I don't see it.
I don't either, but they're just a good baseball team, and they could have one of those, like, team gets hot in the playoffs, starts streaking.
That's true, like the Mets did.
It literally, yeah, shit happens, dude.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with a Subway Series. World
Subway Series would be so sick to watch, though.
So
Nick with a baseball. Oh, is this a baseball take or is this a bet?
coincidentally, I was gonna go with the Dodgers and the Astros. I was gonna go for those ones, like not just because you just said it, but
I mean, to be fair, Nick, the Dodgers, just taking the Dodgers in general is kind of
it's kind of a like a
no,
yeah, it's like a very obvious.
There's
pick.
nothing
I don't know
wrong with it. It's literally just a good pick. You're picking the best team.
I need to get more into baseball, but I mean,
now's the time.
There's nothing,
dude. Now
there's
is
nothing else
literally-
to fucking watch right now, so I might as well.
You gonna get on it? You gonna get on when we get home?
I'm getting on. Oh, I'm getting on. No, but yeah, I'm taking Dodgers. I'm taking
Hey Nick.
taking Astros.
All right, Nick. When we go home, we're watching the Sox. Top of the first against the Angels right now. We'll watch the Red Sox.
I'll watch it while I'm at the gym.
You gotta go late. You gotta go late because someone fucked us.
Yeah, it's late.
I
for me.
told you.
But let's wrap it up.
We
here.
can wrap it up. I think we're good.
Let's get right into our entertainment of the week.
You want to do it? Oh, I thought we were just.
We're doing it.
I thought we were skipping that shit.
No. Let's do it.
All right.
Entertainment of the week for me.
Mine's.
I was gonna do the FIFA Club World Cup. I already did that for overrated, underrated.
Charmander.
I felt like it deserved that segment. And but for entertainment of the week, I'm just gonna go with International Fight Week and UFC 317, and just honestly for this weekend, just combat sports. Just you have the Jake Paul card that's gonna be good on Netflix. I mean, is that on Netflix? I think it is on Netflix. This week. And then you're gonna have UFC 317, International Fight Week. You have fucking literally going on right now. You have the TOF season 20, I believe they're celebrating. Chael versus DC. We're watching it right now. Some guy's getting his fucking.
He's getting
ass
shit
beat.
kicked in.
Yeah. So a lot of fighting to watch. There's not too much else besides baseball. So if you're not in the baseball,
Get into baseball.
you might get in the
You-
baseball.
you literally
or
have
start
to.
watching the UFC or something.
Or I hope you like summer league basketball.
Yeah.
Well, my entertainment's kind of contradicting of what I just said. WNBA. I'm telling you, if you want to watch, listen. You have
agree.
nothing to watch. It's actually the league is it is getting better. The players are getting better. It's getting more watchable. It's getting chippy. That's what you want to see. Is they're getting chippy. They all don't like each other, so it's good and it plays throughout the entire summer. There's basketball on all summer because of that. So if you ever just want to turn on a fucking game and just watch it in the background, like most people do, that just sometimes they just turn on a game and have it on in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basketball, and if there's nothing else to watch, might as well watch some basketball. Yes.
Throwing over the.
See what he's got.
Entertainment of the week. The upcoming Superman movie. Excited to see that. Definitely curious to see what James Gunn does with everything.
Are we seeing that in theaters?
Oh, we're seeing it in fucking theaters. We're all going. In
No,
cosplay.
I'll go as Captain Underpants.
Captain. No, but it's gonna be exciting to see what James Gunn does with like this movie and just the DC universe in general.
Well, listen, man, they're not. This isn't a reboot. They're
This is not a
starting
reboot.
fresh. No,
They're
they're
starting
not.
fresh.
This isn't the origin story. He's an established Superman of like
This
3.5
is an
years.
established world.
Like
you
he's
see
already.
a shit ton. You see
What are you
fucking.
doing? Why are
You
looking at me
have
like that?
James Gunn's tendency to put random characters into movies. We see. God, I forget his name. He's like the third Green Lantern, like the third most relevant Green Lantern. God, I'm forgetting his name. Nathan Fillion plays him in it, but
Look at the
yeah.
quad. Nice.
gonna feel like it's gonna be a great movie.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
That was a good podcast. Good entertainments of the week. A lot of shit to watch. Surprisingly. All right.
For better or for worse.
Yep.
Well, this
Thank
is
you all for
episode
tuning
4.
in. Charmander, you can say goodbye. You didn't say anything.
Wonderful words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Stream us everywhere. YouTube, Spotify,
Podcast,
anything you want us to talk about.
Apple.
Leave a Apple.
Apple Podcast.
Any
If you need to listen to something on the toilet.
maybe not that. If you're sitting on the toilet for over an hour, then I would check with your doctor. But stream us on everything. Any questions anything you want us to talk about? Comment.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Feel free to comment or email us.
If you email, emailing is bold. If I receive,
Send us a DM on Instagram.
please send me a fax.
Nothing wrong with email.
Listen, email, fax.
Yeah. Fax is crazy.
My
We
Dropbox.
buy a fucking fax machine.
Send me a Dropbox link. Mail it. Well, even though the people that listen to this, even though the people that know this know me, mail it to me.
Yeah. PO. We get a PO box.
That's
I would just order shit to our PO box and be like, "Oh my god, we have a fan."
All right.
Yeah,
anyways,
that's enough.
Thank you all for watching. Stream us everywhere. Anywhere you get your podcast, we're live. Live show. Brady said it would be live for the NBA draft. I'm gonna have a pre-weekend live show for boxing and UFC. You can tune into as well. Those will also be posted onto the YouTube.
Yes.
They will not be posted on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts. Only YouTube and live and X. But I don't think you can post. Do you post the whole thing on X? Probably not.
You can tweet it after, and you can re-listen to the space.
Okay.
So yeah,
maybe.
technically. It'll
Okay,
be
maybe
up there.
then. But you guys get the fucking
Listen,
point.
I watched the whole SpongeBob movie on X.
We'll see you guys later.
Later.